Welcome back to another exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. I'm your host, Gary Malefsky, and the publisher of Cyber Defense Magazine. Sitting in my hot seat today is a very special guest. Michael Morris is the Director of Business Development for Endace, a market leader at packet capture.
That's
and
correct.
This is really technology. Is it an appliance? Is it hardware, software? How do you make it? How do you deploy it?
It is a hardware appliance purpose-built to be the industry's best at recording everything on the wire.
You don't miss a beat.
Nothing.
You don't miss a packet.
Nanosecond level granularity, recording everything to disk, keeping it as long as you need to keep it for investigation purposes, whether that's security or performance.
Michael, is it inline? Is it out of band? Is it off a network tap, or are you tapping the network?
Great question. No, typically it's out of band, typically coming off of a tap or a packet broker, and a couple of the industry-leading packet brokers are some of our Fusion partners.
You have a partner program, and this is called the Fusion Partner Program,
Yes.
where you've integrated this technology with others. Give me an example of some of the security vendors that have integrated with you.
We have a number of Fusion technology partners. Some of the key ones, folks like Cisco, Palo Alto, Splunk, IBM, Micro Focus, Plixer, some of the industry-leading IDSs or SIMs. So really helping anybody who's trying to help secure and manage a network get down to the root cause with network packet data.
Can I take that network packet data that you've captured from a second ago, a millisecond ago, or a month or a year ago and pull it up and leverage it and figure something out? Maybe I had a breach that they always say it's 180 days since we discovered the breach. Can I go back 180 days, look at the data, watch the traffic, understand and analyze it and say it was Bob's computer, it got infected with malware because of you?
So that's in a perfect scenario. Typically, most of our customers aren't keeping that much storage. They're keeping anywhere 30 to 60 days worth of data. But we can extend it. So it's stackable or distributable. What makes us unique is two things. Number one, our partners can run some of their virtualized sensors or agents or appliances right on our box. Mm-hmm. So the Palo Alto VM series or the Cisco VM series can run in IDS mode. So as we're recording the data to disk, they can be inspecting it for malware or signatures or things like that. And then the second part of the integration is they can pivot from an event that they've captured. Again, whether that's Cisco, whether that's Palo Alto, maybe it's an event, something that Splunk picked up, mm-hmm. or IBM's QRadar. We have integrations with all those platforms so that you can, as an analyst, you can pivot from that, you're working a workflow, and you want to get down to the relevant packet data to that event. So you know what happened 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after. And there's no more digging through, copious amounts of data. You can get right to the relevant data that pertains to that event.
Do you have, this purpose-built hardware?
Yes.
Do you have a team developing ASICs? And how do you keep up with the packets and payload as fast as they move nowadays? We're looking at how many, 100 megs a second or more? How fast?
Well, we have everything from 1 gig to 100 gig capability
100 gigs a second?
100 gig.
You can keep up with 100 gigs a second?
We do 100 gig off a load balancer. We can do 40 gig natively.
That's incredible. And do you see a hardware development team constantly keeping up with, working towards light speed is I think where we're headed?
Absolutely. Our team is leading edge, and we've been around for almost 20 years, coming from that background of capturing at line rate, really being highly accurate at getting everything on the wire, not to drop anything. What our biggest kind of new features that have come up in here recently is really the other side of the coin. It's one thing to capture the information and store it, but if you can't help an analyst search through it and find that needle in the haystack, it's useless. So one of our newest features is we've been able to optimize some of our search capability. So if we're looking for an infected IP, let's say your host was known to have some malware on it, we want to know everything talking to and from your host. We can search through petabytes of network traffic in under 30 seconds to find who's been talking to your IP.
That's incredible, and that's your own code that your own team developed.
It's part of the way we store it, the way we write it to disk, and then the way we can search it.
You didn't hack Alta Vista and grab their code, right?
No.
Just kidding. That was the fastest search engine in the world for a while, if you remember.
Yeah.
So you have the fastest way to search petabytes of data natively.
Raw network traffic.
Raw network traffic, yeah. And to this source destination, these are the issues. So, okay, it's me and the malware. You knew it. You figured it out.
Yep.
Okay. Now, typically, people get infected and they don't know it until it's too late. Now, there's all these cybersecurity companies that are saying, well, hey, if I could just analyze the data faster, I could probably isolate or quarantine. There's this whole new industry, EDR and SOAR, where they want to isolate or quarantine a device. So I've got the malware, you figured it out, and I might then propagate it across the network. Like WannaCry became a worm. It wasn't just ransomware.
Right.
Are you helping vendors get ahead of the curve of these latest forms of malware that want to affect more and more IP addresses on the network?
Yeah, so where we really add differentiation is working with this ecosystem of security vendors, right? They are looking for the new leading edge malwares and botnets and things like that. They've got all the signatures. And then combining their capability to find those issues and then look at the network data relevant to when they identified one and see what happened. Was there lateral movement? Was there command and control? Was there exfiltration of data? Those types of scenarios can help an analyst get from a potential problem to the root cause much, much quicker. So we're helping on the investigation side, the forensic side, and we're giving them confidence in what's happened, right? So they know in the last 24 hours or the last 2 weeks, what were all the interconnects happening to your known infected system?
Can a little guy afford you, an SMB credit union, or do you have to be a big giant insurance company or a big bank, Bank of America?
We have everything from a small 1U half rack box. We even have a virtualized probe that can be run in a cloud environment.
Very cool.
So obviously that just comes with other changes. You've got to manage the storage and the life of the virtualized instance. But we have lots of options. And what makes us really simple for customers to use is you can look across the real estate of our probes, whether you have one of them, whether you have 10 of them. Our largest customer has probably over 1,500 of them. So anywhere in that range, it really works to help really understand what's happening on your network.
So really scalable packet capture and recording and analysis and searching now faster than anybody else.
Yep.
Very cool. And do you sell only direct through channel? How does the sales go?
We sell mostly through channels, or actually almost 100% channels.
Very, very good.
Our sales team really supports the channels, and that's our approach. Our second part of our approach is really working with our Fusion technology partners and the channels that they use.
So there's two kinds of channels.
Yeah.
It's the security vendors and others in the ecosystem who need you,
Yep.
and then they've got their ways of selling, and a lot of them are using resellers. And then you've got your resellers to get out to market, so anybody can afford you and get you deployed.
Correct.
Where are we going to send our viewers? Endace.com?
www.endace.com.
ENDACE.com.
That's correct.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with the viewers?
I think that's it.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Great interview. You made it through the hot seat.
I did.
Okay. So if you are worried about packets and payload, you've got to capture that data and you've got to do it in real time. And then you can plug in an ecosystem that can help you make better decisions to stop the next breach. So go to Endace.com, learn more about them, deploy them as soon as you can, and then come back next time for an exciting episode of Cyber Defense TV. Thank you.